Stop right there.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, from the Turning Stone Resort Casino, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, with his head trainer, Gerard Capobianco. He's wearing white, trimmed with red and blue, and officially weighed in at 173 pounds. His professional record, an excellent one. 24 victories. 20 of those 24 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. From Long Island, New York, USA, the challenger, former WBC International Heavyweight Champion, Joe Smith Jr. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing black trimmed with silver and stands with his head trainer, Gennady Martinovo. Wearing black with silver, he officially weighs in at 173.5 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 15 fights, 15 victories, including 11 big wins by knockout. Domingos Badai from St. Petersburg, Russia, the reigning and defending, undefeated WBA Light-Heavyweight Champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol.
Okay, gentlemen, I gave you specific detailed instructions in the locker room. I'm only going to tell you 2 things. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, bang at the bell. God bless.
2 serious young men in there. Joe Smith Jr., again, hard hitter from Mastic, Long Island. Oldest of 8 kids. Owns his own tree trimming company on Long Island against a world-class fighter with a world title belt and the amateur pedigree to back it up. Does Smith have enough to hang? Can he close the talent gap?
Dmitry Bivol has faced some good fighters in his career. He has never faced someone with the power of a Joe Smith.
Smith burst onto the world scene, had that huge upset over Andrew Fonfara. Knocked him down twice, stopped him in round 1. That was in June of 2016. His claim to fame, of course, is beating the legendary Bernard Hopkins when Bernard was in his 50s, but that was B-Hop's last fight. And Smith did rise to the occasion, Sergio.
Yes, he did. I was at the Forum, I was there. It was a sad way for a legend to go, but that's how legends die hard. And how about that entrance by Joe Smith Jr.? I got the chills, him coming out to Bruce Springsteen, the whole New York thing. It's a great vibe.
The chant is up here. We're in Verona, New York. Not too far away from the International Boxing Hall of Fame. So it is a drive. It's quite a drive from Long Island, but the fans have come out.
Smith putting a lot of pressure, foot pressure, body pressure, but so far, Bivol's handling nicely, fighting behind the jab.
Sergio, they feel, Smith's people, that Bivol is obviously outstanding, but that he's slightly wide and that he can be hit. Do you buy that?
No. I think Bivol is all around a really good fighter, and I thought he was all puncher, but like he told us, I actually like using my feet. I like feinting. I like looking for the right shot. I don't just go out there and try to power punch like most people thought.
His promoter called him an intellectual fighter. Dmitry Bivol there in the black trunks. That, look, defense is a priority. It's not just lip service. Hey, defense is important. No. He's going to fight defensively, smartly. Flashing out a jab, Bivol throws it out there. Although, again, Smith is the man doing the stalking and backing Bivol up. Good jab again by Bivol. And another. Smith trying to jab with him, but you can see the difference.
That's what Smith told us. We asked him, what's the key to this fight? He goes, I gotta punch in between his punches. And that was a smart thing, because I hate when fighters punch in between. They know they can't compete with your speed, so they try to time you.
Smith trying to do that now, too, just trying to paw at the jab and get close enough to land a hard right hand.
Punch out, punch out, punch out.
One thing about Bivol, he does not go to the body a lot, so Smith can be aware of that as he tries to go inside.
Bivol fairly effective with that jab, and there with a short hook. That was dangerous. Again, Smith has never been down, even though he's had his jaw broken twice in his career.
10 seconds. 10 seconds is for the bell.
Good body shot there by Bivol, and he tries with a hook at the end of round one.
Хорошо. Умничка. Хорошо. Все увидел? Все спокойно. Че, не напрягайся, расслабься, спокойно.
Just relax,
В
relax.
конце попал 2 раза.
You hit him twice at
Заболтался
the end.
человек. Сейчас дай ему махнуть вначале. Больше движения вправо.
Just let him punch
Понял?
in the
Больше
air.
движения вправо. Левая рука у него мертвая. Он машет
His
ей
left
за
hand is
километр
dead.
длинной граблями. Туда под правую не ходи, чтобы он не врезался в тебя.
And there is royalty in the house. Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker. One of the greatest of all time.
I was totally going to be a fanboy. He was outside signing autographs, but I had a job to do. one of my favorite fighters all time.
Oh my God, what an unbelievable, skillful fighter. One of the best defensive fighters in the history of the sport.
Yeah, I think you make the case the best defensive fighter in the history of the sport.
Round two here, WBA title fight, 175 pounds. Dmitry Bivol in the black trunks. Joe Smith with the white trunks with the stars and the sleeve. Sergio, your thoughts on Smith in round one and what he was attempting to do?
Attempting is a good word because he came forward, tried to pressure like he normally does. He loves applying pressure and making boxers uncomfortable, but Bivol passed the test. He looked for the right shots. He doesn't waste punches, Bivol does. He just looks for the right ones with the technique, and that's where the power translates.
And you can see, again, the telltale sign is the jab. You see, Smith is throwing the jab. He's not landing the jab. Bivol has a classy jab. It's short, tight, it lands.
A power jab.
You're right, it's not a feather duster. Hits hard. Smith relatively inactive, only one fight in 2017, only one in 2018. His management was trying to get him a fight with a big name. They thought they had Artur Beterbiev locked up in November, but that fell through. That fight instead given to Callum Johnson. So Johnson bounced back with a win here earlier. But it is difficult, Chris Maddox, to navigate and get the fights you need, even when there's multiple champions.
Yeah, because of the alignment of so many fighters. Artur Beterbiev, that fight initially was earmarked for HBO. Back in November of last year, HBO goes out of business. Joe Smith comes over to this side of the street. He gets his shot at Dmitry Bivol.
Smith coming forward, trying to tuck his head, his jaw at least, underneath his left shoulder. So trying to come in defensively sound. But Bivol already starting to pick up that space and get in the pocket. Finding his range with the jab.
He's looking to counter punch with those jabs. Those are power jabs right there. But if you time it well while Smith is coming in, they're like straight right hands.
And you can see, even when Smith was regrouping there for a moment, Bivol sensed it and moved in.
Smith is a little discouraged. I hate to say that with such a brave fighter, but you could tell he's a little discouraged with Bivol's power and the timing and the pop behind it.
And again, when Sergio tried to take that little break, let me regroup, Bivol said, oh, no, you're not breathing. I'm coming at you in a nice combination. Champ with a classy combination.
10 seconds.
Straight ahead with the jab in the right hand. And now backs out of danger.
Seconds for the bell. Time. Yo.
The time has come for the main event of the evening. Oh, big shot. Another big night for Bellator MMA. Wow, Jabo took a huge hit. And down he goes. He's waved it off.
Buddy, you gotta move.
Man.
is a DAZN exclusive. Bellator on April 27th.
Chin down, hands up. You fade into this way, he's catching with that uppercut. But as soon as he throws those 3 punch combinations, you punch right with it.
There's a left hook that came up a little short. Bivol he doesn't like to throw away punches. He likes to land them cleanly and crispy. Right here, they weren't landing cleanly, but obviously they bothered Smith because there was a discouraged look in that round.
Sergio, if you're Gerard Capobianco, what would you tell Joe Smith Jr.? Because it appears Joe needs something specific. Give him something he can work with.
You want to move your head, not give a target to that jab, and bang the body away. That's going to be the easiest thing to try to hit with Bivol, because Bivol, he has good feet. He steps back nicely, and obviously he has that power jab. So bang the body up a little bit, touch something.
Joe Smith Jr. in the first round coming out with a lot of pressure, and now looks like he's trying to solve a puzzle.
Bivol tried to lure him in with the left hook right there around the gloves, but Smith didn't fall for it.
Look at Smith, a guy who, even though he lost to Sullivan Barrera, he had Barrera down in the first round. He said, I can't believe Barrera crawled back up.
Yeah, he's a hard hitter. And if he didn't break that jaw in that second round, he'd give him a great chance to finish off that fight. But he showed great courage in getting to the end after suffering his second broken jaw.
And Bivol said, look, I know he has a lot of power. He said, I've sparred with a lot of guys like Joe. Bivol with tremendous respect for Smith all week, no question. Again, he's got a lot of class. But he said, look, I know Smith's going to come in here and try to make a fight for his people.
Bivol just missed with a counter left hook that would have been devastating, but he's looking for the right shots. He threw a right hand to the body, straight right hand to Smith, trying to set something up upstairs. Very smart on Bivol's part.
If you're Bivol, you do want to make an impression, but your first priority is to win. Win rounds, be responsible, and looks like he is dictating when the war is going to be made. He opens up now.
He's being very responsible in these early 2-3 rounds because he knows the power that Smith carries in those hands, but he's doing the right thing systematically. He's breaking him down, trying to discourage a power puncher like Smith.
And he is applying a lot of pressure too, Sergio. It's almost sneaky power, but he's not getting out of Smith's grill.
Very smart. Bivol's a very smart fighter. As you can see, he hates being against the ropes. He wants to keep the fight in the center of the ring. Just high IQ by Bivol. Because anytime you're near the ropes, Smith is going to take advantage and just bomb away. You don't want to give him that kind of confidence.
Joe Smith able to touch him with the right hand there. Kind of bounce it off the left eyebrow of Dmitry Bivol. But this is what we mean when we say amateur pedigree. When we say the guy's got nearly 300 amateur fights. This is what we mean. Let's go to LZ Granderson. LZ.
Thanks a lot, BK. We're looking at two fighters with tales of two different backgrounds. When I talked to Bivol about where he was from, and as you can tell, he's of Asian descent. His mother's Korean. He talked glowingly about the background, the city he grew up in Russia, the fact that it was very diverse. I was actually surprised by that because I didn't think there were a lot of Koreans in Russia, but apparently there's a large Korean population, and he felt very welcome, very much at home. On the flip side, Mr. Joe Smith Jr., well, let's just say he came from the school of hard knocks. A lot of fights growing up, very rough neighborhood. He even showed the scar remaining on his neck from getting cut in his neck. So he's used to being an underdog. He's used to fighting with the crowds against him. Fortunately, this crowd is with him, but he's got a really tough opponent. Obviously the champ. We'll see how this plays out. But two men, two different backgrounds. We'll see who comes out on top. Back to you, BK.
Yeah, LZ, there's no question. This is really a check of his character. You can see that left eye is already starting to puff up a bit. There is a gap in talent here, gap in skill.
Yeah, we asked Bivol, what does he think about Joe Smith? He said he's basic but very strong. I'll break him down.
He's willing to take his time and pick his spots. He's been smart. Round 4. Bivol in the black trunks, again the WBA titleist at 175 pounds. Sergio, do you have a favorite? We talk Bivol, Beterbiev, Kovalev, Vazdik. Anybody stand out to you specifically?
I think Better Bivol, his performance in his last fight was just impressive. He got up from the canvas, he showed courage, devastating puncher as well. I think the light heavyweight division is just dominated by Eastern Europeans, and they're all scary.
Chance up for Joe Smith now. You see the punches landed. It is wider than I even thought, 46-7. Can Joe Smith be inspired? Can he close the talent gap?
It's discouraging when you're fighting an economical, precise puncher like Bivol, because he doesn't waste punches. Everything is hard, just like he displayed right there. A right hand to the body and missed with the left hook.
Smith coming in. And now Bivol holding on. Smith knows, if I get my man hurt, that's the time. You might only get one chance.
I think Smith felt he landed something on that last exchange.
I think he did too. It was a glancing overhand right. And Smith told us, anytime I land my hands on anyone, I hurt him.
Smith trying to make the most of it, but you can see the survival skills are there as well for Bivol. He's able to move, he was able to clutch just for a moment, and now he fires back with a body shot.
No measured.
Straight up the middle comes Bivol. From the corner, Smith's corner saying, don't follow him, jab.
Bivol told us that he loves feinting, he loves using his legs. Right now, I seen something. Right before his back was gonna hit the ropes, he spinned around and stayed in the middle of the ring. He didn't back all the way up to the other side of the ring. Very smart ring generalship on Bivol's part.
Yeah, so many subtle things. I'm glad you pointed that out, Sergio. There's subtle things that he does there that are just beautiful to watch.
It's like he's playing chess with his feet. It really is impressive. That's such a big puncher is really good with his feet like that and economical with his power.
Able to block that shot as well, blocking the right hand from Joe Smith Jr. Smith almost thinking southpaw for a second. Trying the hook off southpaw, at least changing his body around.
I don't think Joe Smith has a bad strategy in this fight. He just can't get that jab through. Dmitry Bivol's defense is excellent.
I got you. I'm right here.
He is again trying to solve a puzzle from a guy who is fundamentally sound. High ring IQ. And Smith, to his credit, when he thought he had his man hurt, went after him with everything he had. Bivol able to get through.
You win the round. The only thing is you're following him a little bit too much, but you got that round. Get that eye going. Joe, mouthpiece. Listen, just don't follow. Just be a little more patient. He's slippery, but we jump his body. Get some inflow right here. Joe, you win that round big. You did very good this round, man. Do the same thing. It hurt him. But start off, throw a jab, hit that body, and then go up top. I'm telling you, right?
Look, Joe Smith told us anything I punch, I hurt, and he clearly caught Bivol's attention right here. I don't know if he was hurt, but this is how you could tell if someone's hurt, if they grab. That caught Bivol's attention.
That was cleaner than I thought it was. I'm gonna be honest, from our angle, I think he caught him. I think Christy said he caught him on a glance, better than a glance. Caught him really flush.
Bivol's reaction is how I knew he caught his attention.
Round 5, so Joe Smith has some success. His corner telling me won that round big. Certainly landed the best shot. Chris, did he even win that round?
I don't think he won that round. I think he did have his best round and landed some clean punches, but I don't think he won it.
He didn't win the round, but he won momentum, and that's all you need.
A hint of success with a good, hard shot.
Watch the break. Watch that elbow.
But I agree with you, Chris. I thought Bivol won the round. You've got to count him up, and one good shot can't win it for you unless you drop the guy. And Bivol certainly wasn't that close.
Smith tried that overhand right again. I doubt it's going to work with an educated boxer like Bivol. He should try to set that up, go downstairs, touch him somewhere else.
He was able to land a right hand just a few seconds ago.
Watch your head, you're gonna get cut.
Joe Smith takes a deep breath, tries to wade in,
off his head,
and has to block those shots from Bivol. Bivol, Sergio, just does not let you walk in. No. That's just another thing he does well.
And look at his face. He's like a poker face. It never changes expression. He's just an excellent fighter, a dangerous fighter.
A hard hook from Bivol. Smith has again, it's strange to say when a guy's had his jaw broken twice, but he's got a good jaw. He's got a good beard.
That was a really pretty move on Bivol's part. Just when Joe Smith was trying to attack him and get him towards the ring, he turns around and pushes back Joe against the ring. Just ring generalship at its best with Dmitry Bivol.
Smith trying to come in, left shoulder first, keep his right hand tucked under his chin. A loaded weapon, looking for that one shot. And Bivol is supremely confident, and you can see the concentration on his face. Able to get out of danger. Smith is stalking, doing everything he can.
Bivol doesn't waste time. Every punch is he tries to land every punch perfect. That's economical on his part.
Doubles up on the jab, and he hits him with that second jab. Able to spray out a few more and keep Smith at bay.
Sergio, you know this, but when you're a guy that moves, the size of the ring matters. It's a pretty big ring, 20 by 20. That favors a Dmitry Bivol is trying to be active moving around it.
Listen, I was definitely a mover because I didn't have Bivol's power. But Bivol, he told us in the fighter meetings, I love foot feinting, I love defense, I like controlling things with my jab. I'm more than a puncher.
You told me in the fighter meetings that you did, that your nickname was Latino Tyson.
Final seconds, Smith trying with everything he has.
Хорошо.
Good job.
Хорошо.
Good job.
Вот так. Вот так. Грамотненько. Вот стал легко бросать, разваливать. Да-да-да, туда 3. Все там. Один из них могу сакцентировать, да? Да-да, и левый сбоку вот это идет теперь. Только с ногой надо поднять. Массу в ударе он
Use your body when you're punching.
Молодец.
That is Israel Matrimov, the Dream. Won his second pro fight tonight. Vicious knockout win over Frank Rojas, who again, he was in the hospital but doing much better. But Bivol came out to watch his fight. Matrimov, of course, you'd expect him to come out and watch the main event. But Bivol was out here watching the fights for the guys in his stable.
Stablemates. You see Miguel Cotto do that all the time at big fights. He'd come out early, watch his young guys, go back, get changed, get ready to fight.
I love that. You know, Sergio's your main event guy, but you're out saying, you know, Bivol's out watching the fights.
I love seeing that too, because it gives your young fighters confidence. You know, a star, a legend is watching you fight, and they're supporting you all the way.
That's slippery.
It is very wet in the corner. See Gary Rosado trying to dry that up.
Thank you.
And they're trying to dry that up now so no one slips in the corner. I liked how Chris Mannix, Joe Smith got after it, even in the final seconds. Like, let me bum rush him, do something. I'm going to use some energy here. He's trying.
You have to be in great shape to fight a Joe Smith because you know he's going to be almost impossible to knock down and virtually impossible to knock out. So he's going to keep coming throughout this fight. And Bivol, to his credit, has experience going deep into fights.
Now, Bivol outlanding Smith Jr., but 80-60. You know, throwing over 100 more. Smith maybe landing a little more than I thought, Sergio.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of punches, you don't know. Punch stat numbers like that, I really don't like to follow. You can't really judge effective punching. Just because you're throwing punching and you're blocking them, they're not landing.
Well, you use it if it's instructive. But wonder if there's another way of looking at it. I mean, certainly Bivol is just picking Smith apart and is doing it beautifully. Smith is giving it everything he has. He had his moment, definitely caught him flush with that right hand. Bivol able to eat it and survive.
CompuBox doesn't tell the story. If you have an educated eye, Bivol's landed the better punches. Of course, Joe Smith lands the harder punches, but precise punching, that's what gets an opponent's attention.
You know, we're 10 minutes away from the International Boxing Hall of Fame. It's in Canastota, New York. Going to be a fun summer this year. Donald Curry, Julian Jackson, Buddy McGirt, speaking of Long Island fighters, Tony DeMarco, Teddy Atlas, former colleague, be up here inducted into the Hall of Fame, Lee Samuels, Don Elbaum, and Guy Jutras, former referee. So it'll be a fun class, a lot of fighters from the 80s.
I'm glad to hear that Donald Curry's being accepted, the Cobra.
Yeah, yes.
I loved watching him fight.
Former welterweight champion, #1 pound for pound at one point.
You think he's a Hall of Famer?
I knew you were going to say that. I don't know why. A lot of people question Donald Curry, but he was a 2-division champion.
Okay.
good fighter?
I'd
Okay,
say
so obviously
yes.
no.
But look, every Hall of Fame has a different line. You want to go there? So I'd say yes. What are you saying, Chris?
The Hall of Fame every year inducts 3 people no matter what. That should not be the case. Baseball, I think, has it right. 75% gets in. The Boxing Hall of Fame needs to adopt that to have any credibility.
Okay. Well, not to have any credibility. Add to its credibility.
Because there are years, Brian, that there aren't 3 Hall of Famers.
Okay.
This is how I know he was a Hall of Famer. Ask the top fighters if Donald Curry belongs in the Hall of Fame. They'll say yes, including myself. I think
maybe he's. I'll throw something at you from the Baseball Hall of Fame. Maybe he's a peak Hall of Famer. He's #1 pound for pound before he lost to Lloyd Hunnigan, welterweight title. Anyway, early June, June 8th and 9th, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Big party.
Great shot with a left hand. And drops it. It's hunting season for fun. Good left hand there from Cal. He loves fighting. This is Katie Taylor being Katie Taylor. Dominant, dominant, dominant.
We will be there next Friday in Philadelphia. Tevin Farmer, Katie Taylor, Gabe Rosado. Tevin Farmer and Katie Taylor, but Farmer's wanted to go back to his hometown, and he has just looked terrific last couple of fights.
Yeah, Tevin Farmer's had a chance to really showcase his skills. He's in with Joan O'Carroll, a guy that doesn't have a lot of power either, so you'd like to see if he can go out there and put somebody away. But I'm anxious, Brian, to see Tevin Farmer in a significant fight. Can they make a Gervonta Davis fight? Can they make a Vasily Lomachenko fight? Those are the fights I want to see Tevin Farmer in.
Well, that's top of the food chain stuff, but you know, Farmer is there, and skill-wise, he'd be difficult to handle. Round 7 here, Dmitry Bivol with an outstanding performance. As Sergio Mora has pointed out, in many subtle ways, but he is just a blue chipper as a world titleist, and Joe Smith a level below, doing everything he can to try to close that gap. It has been difficult.
Like I said earlier, Joe Smith, we know what he is. He's a blue-collar, 9-to-5 grind, tough as nails. And Bivol, he's the opposite, an educated puncher. He doesn't waste any energy, doesn't waste space in the ring. He knows when to punch. Just an all-around high IQ boxer puncher Bivol is.
One thing's for sure, I didn't think I'd be in a Hall of Fame controversy out here. Like the one day I'm not at MLB Network, I get talking Hall of Fame. All right, we'll do it.
Do 3 guys really deserve to get in every single year, no matter what? Are there always 3 Hall of Famers?
No, I guess not. I would say it wouldn't have to be.
There are some years too, Brian.
Hard jab from Bivol. Smith looks hurt. Smith doubled over there for a moment.
Smith's back was turned against us, but I think that was a wide left hook around the guard that landed.
Smith has never been down. He looks hurt. That hook didn't quite land. That right hand did. Bivol now picks up the pace.
And Smith still looking to counter with a big shot. That's what makes him dangerous.
Ooh, he ate a right hand coming in. Bivol with a short, crisp right hand, and now an uppercut. Wow, he is using the total arsenal. As Smith was burrowing forward, he was catching things on the way in.
Yes, he was, and Bivol just spinned out of there and didn't back up all the way to the other side of the ring. Very economical with the ring, the space, the punch selection. Very impressed with Dmitry Bivol, I am.
Yeah, Smith is very tough, he's very game, but Bivol looks great.
Behind the head, break! Get back, let him go, let him go.
Final 30 seconds here, round 7. By the way, we asked Bivol, anyone stand out to you among the other champions? And he then went and proceeded to name all 3. And he did it honestly. He's like, look, they've all got something going.
No punch, let him go.
And he's a very respectful champ. He has great respect for Beterbiev, Kovalev, and Volzdik. He said, look, they're all there.
What's unfortunate is, unless something significant changes, Dmitry Bivol is going to have a very hard time getting a fight with any of them.
There is talk of 168.
5 seconds, it's for the bell.
That he could go down, he said he could go down to 168 pounds. Maybe fight Callum Smith, who is the Ring Magazine super middleweight champion of the world.
I think that's more likely than not. Probably not in his next fight. but early next year at the latest, we see him drop down and fight at 168, because if he wins a title at 168, he puts himself in the mix for Canelo and Golovkin if they decide to move up to 168.
Right. Put that leg down there, breathe.
Here's the punch that you thought was a jab, because the back, Joe Smith's back was turned against us, but he turned it into a hook and it landed cleanly. Caught Joe Smith's attention. He had a grab on, which was a smart thing to do on his part, but that definitely caught his attention. Landed cleanly on the jaw.
Wow, and that's, again, his jaw's been broken twice, and yet he has never been down, and you can see what, he's buckled, he's hurt, but he doesn't go down easy.
Now, Bivol is systematically breaking down a very tough opponent.
And Bivol has shown all the skills. Round 8, Brian Kenny with Sergio Mora, and Chris Mannix here ringside. Sugar Ray Leonard, Kay Adams also with us here. LZ Granderson as well.
Thank you.
Hope you're enjoying the night here in upstate New York. Dmitry Bivol showing so much skill. I think there's something to Chris, too, if he can get down to 168 and fight Callum Smith and get a guy again who has multiple belts, who has a Ring Magazine title. I think he's number 2 according to ESPN, so maybe it's not universally acclaimed, but basically if he's the champ, this is extra cachet to beating the champion.
Absolutely, and we saw him at the fighter meetings yesterday, compare and contrast it to what Maurice Hooker was. Dmitry Bivol was drinking water, he looked comfortable, he's very easily making 175, and he believes he can comfortably make 168.
They think that Marcus Brown is on the radar as well. Brown, who's on the run now, on the way up. And Bivol's promoter said, even with all the politics, it is possible to make good fights. And you'd want to see that. You want to see Bivol tested again by world class. And let's see how those skills perform.
Brown Bivol will be an interesting matchup. I would like to see that.
Right now, Joe Smith Jr. is here in the ring, and it's the 8th round, and he is not quitting. You know that. Tries with the right hand. Smith tries with the uppercut.
Push him down, break. Off his head.
Bivol able to keep distance, but he's always within punching range.
It's a quiet round with both of them, so Bivol's maybe taking this round off, and Joe Smith.
Oh, another hard shot. He is able to hook right off that jab and throw a hard, short hook and bounce it right off Smith.
It landed in the last round. He tried it again. Very successful with that.
He's hurt him twice already with that hook. Lands with the jab, right to the nose. Now power shots from Bivol, backing Smith up. Smith says, bring it. Final 30 seconds. Even when he partially blocked them, you could hear the thudding power of Dmitry Bivol. Smith tries to jab out of the corner, and he does.
10 seconds, look for the bell.
Bivol misses with the right hand.
Get that arm back.
Another outstanding round for the champ.
Я не представляю, как он стоит, блядь.
I don't even know how he's standing after we
Ты его
punched.
уже так накормил, такие... Работа.
He had a lot, he had a lot. Good job.
Молодец.
Good job.
Свою ручку, да, руку даю и сразу на выходе.
Give him
Вот он
hand.
сам туда лезет. Левый сбоку идет как у профессора, чуть-чуть подсели.
Just go with the left on the side.
Сколько раз туда попал? Развить чуть-чуть надо. Молодец. Так там все. Не суетись, не суетись.
Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. You know.
Все наше. Спокойно.
That's interesting. Gennady Mashianov, first thing he says, I don't know how this guy's still standing. You're really doing beautiful stuff.
You know, the many things to be impressed with Dmitry Bivol, his conditioning is right up there. He just doesn't look tired at all as we get into the 9th round.
than we threw up there. You can see the over-under. It's 9 rounds. We're in the 9th round now. So, and this seems to be right at the crux.
Don't push his head down, all right?
Of where Smith looks a little beaten, a little gassed. Plenty of will, but it's not his night. Not against this guy. Too much skill, too much class. And Bivol just looks tremendous.
And you can't criticize Bivol because look, when he fought Chilemba, KG veteran, and he fought a former champion in Pascal, another KG smart veteran that knows how to survive and can punch. Now he's fighting the definition.
Wow. Now Smith meant to do that. You know, he didn't have to do that.
You do that again, I'm taking a point off. You understand that? All right? Come here. Come here. Give me the glove. Let's keep it clean. I'm taking a point next time. Ready? Time in.
What do you think of Gary Rosado not taking a point?
No, that was the right call, but that was all frustration on Joe Smith's part. He can't do nothing, can't get nothing started, so he resorted to being dirty.
I like that as well, that you can warn him once. He hasn't been dirty yet. That was dirty, but that you can say, hey, look, that's it.
Break!
Can't do that. Pure frustration, you're right, from Joe Smith Jr. He's trying with everything he has. He finally had the man on top of him and thought, let me throw him. At least he can do something. I want to beat this guy up.
Well, look, not for nothing. I agree with you, BK, that they shouldn't have taken away a point. Okay, that's great. But I also like the fact that Smith actually tried something. He tried to get dirty, tried to get Bivol's attention. You can't do it with your punches, do it wrestling. Just try to get under his skin somehow.
You're pro body slam?
No, I'm not. But I'm pro get dirty if you have to.
Try something. You can't do that, clearly. Clearly. Hard hook from Bivol. Smith is still on his feet. I like that Bivol will occasionally, he has different velocity on his punches, and he will throw a harder shot now and then.
You know, Sergey, to your earlier point, I was critical of Bivol after the Pascal fight, after the Chilemba fight. Those are 2 fights I thought he could have stepped on the gas and been more effective. This is different. He is pressuring. He is looking for the knockout. He's just fighting a guy with a granite chin.
Yeah, Bivol's corner said, I don't know how he's still standing. Well, I'll tell you how he's still standing. He's fighting Joe Smith Jr.
Bivol just with a beautiful double up on the hook. Body and head. They're chanting for Joe Smith here in upstate New York. Trying to help his will to stay in this fight as he tries to throw out a long jab, hoping that he can follow it up with that right hand.
10 seconds, this for the bell.
And the moment he stops punching, Bivol picks it up.
Shot from Jacobs. A big shot landed by the Mexican fighter.
Jab, you hit him with the jab, you stop him. Just lean. Every time you throw a combination, he steps around. He's right there for you to. You know what I mean? He's right there for you to hit.
Well, here we're going to see the hip toss on Joe Smith's part, but not for nothing. He picked him up and then he thought twice and kind of wanted to let him down slowly. Maybe he realized, hey, I'm in a boxing fight, not a street fight.
I don't know that he wanted to let him down slowly there.
I think that was instinct. The tough guy came out of him, and then he realized, I'm in a boxing match.
I'm with you, Sergio. He was conflicted there at the end. You could sense it morally. You're right. By the way, May 4th, that's the middleweight championship. You saw it. Canelo Alvarez defending his title against Danny Jacobs. We heard from Akam Barak earlier. I like that they were respectful on the press tour. You don't have to trash talk to drum up publicity for the middleweight championship of the world from the real middleweight champ.
You don't got to body slam people.
No body slamming.
Keep it classy.
We know why Joe Smith did that, and you can see he did instigate it as well. Wasn't that Bivol was leaning on him? He went and found him. And power punches last round. Yikes, 9-zip. Well, I like the one thing, Sergio, maybe Smith was trying to throw a longer jab. Now he's never able to follow it up with the right hand, but that's your only shot, right?
It's very frustrating fighting a guy you can't touch because Bivol does have fast feet. He knows how to back up. We know that he knows how to use the ring, but the space, like right there, look, Joe Smith came up short with 3 punches, 2 jabs and an overhand right. That's discouraging, that's frustrating.
That was a nice jab from Bivol there, landed flush on the chin and again on Smith. First shot at a world title belt for Joe Smith Jr. He's 24-2. 20 of his 24 wins by knockout. So this is his shot at the title. But this is what it's like when you find a guy in his prime. Bivol's 28 and has put it all together.
Just beautiful, beautiful punches there by Bivol. Got an angle on him, punch from that angle. And the thing about Joe Smith, the thing about power punches, they're used to punching something. They're always accustomed. They don't train to miss. So when they finally do miss like they do there, they get discouraged, frustrated. They don't know what to do and resort to dirty tactics.
That's an underrated hook too, isn't it, Chris, from Bivol? That is hard. Again, we haven't seen Smith fly out of the ring yet because he's Joe Smith.
He is tremendously accurate. And to your point about the defense, Sergio, there are some guys that fight and they can avoid those punches, slip them. Floyd Mayweather was one of them. Bivol just catches everything. Like, though he's not trying to avoid those punches, he's just pawing them away.
And he steps back far enough to counter, like not far enough to where he's away. And just, that's a good point. He always in the position to punch. That's what makes him dangerous.
Bivol dancing now. Trying to stay out of harm's way.
10 seconds.
Smith doing everything he can.
For the bell.
As I mentioned, Bivol.
Good shot there. That might have hurt Bivol right there. That was an overhand right.
Right at the bell. Wow.
Куда ты вылезаешь влево, блядь?
Where did you go on the left?
Нога. Сейчас прыгни, добивай.
When he's gonna jump on you, just hit him in the face. What the fuck did you do at the end? You okay?
Ноги запугали.
What the fuck is going on with your legs?
11-й раунд, куда мы бой нас? Поэтому спокойно.
This fight is gonna be ours. Just relax.
Поиграем влево.
Just play with him.
I thought this round was over, Sergio. I guess Dmitry Bivol thought that too. At the bell.
It's never over. You always have to be leery of a puncher. Joe Smith told us, anything I touch, I hurt. And he showed it and demonstrated his power there.
I mean, as the bell was ringing, just when it's over, and Bivol was shook. So just as we're singing his praises and saying, look, give credit to Joe Smith Jr., he has real success. So it's round 11, and he is rejuvenated.
Well, this is it for Joe Smith Jr. This is his opportunity. Jump right back on him.
Has Bivol been wobbled? That's a hard jab straight up from Bivol. Well, this is where your poker face comes to the fore, Sergio, right? Because he was shook as he went to his stool. But now, it's not betraying him.
Not only the poker face, but the movement and using his feet, like he said, he likes to do. Because he's gonna need it in this round.
Smith lunging in, tries with the hook. Joe Smith Jr. has no knockouts after the 9th round. If he has that power, it's usually early. This is also his first time past 10 rounds. But he is the aggressor in this round, there's no question.
I would like to see Joe Smith make his way in with a powerful jab anywhere, either the chest, the torso, upstairs, but move your way in with a power jab.
Yeah, now he's trying for that one shot, and it's going to be difficult. He's going to get picked apart. Bivol did it right there with a jab and a right hand. The crowd is back into it. That landed by Smith. Can he pull it out of nowhere? Bivol is slightly different now. Not quite as in command. He is still poised, and you see there, Beautiful work by Bivol. A jab and a hook to follow up.
That's the thing about fighting devastating punchers. They always have that puncher chance from round 1 to round 12. And Bivol, no matter how experienced he is, realizing that now.
And you have to give him credit, Sergio. I mean, I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying we have to. He's fighting all 3 minutes, down to the last second that was. Not giving away a second.
With that arm, no measuring.
45 seconds now. Right hand by Smith, partially blocked. But anytime you touch him, that can lead to something else.
No, even if they're partially blocked, after you've been hurt like that, even when you block the shots, they still have an effect on you.
Smith trying a little something different. Now you see the blood trickling down the face of Joe Smith. So he's been caught this round. Bivol has definitely connected, done his share of damage.
Joe Smith has been waiting for years for this title shot, his whole career for this title shot. He's going to lay it all out in that 12th round.
And the fact that he's back in this now in the 11th is remarkable. Yeah, he knows he's in a fight, Joe. No question.
Joey, keep those hands up. Let me get that mouthpiece. Joe. So see when he steps around, he's wide open for that hook.
Do not sit out.
This is your last one.
Yes, that right.
Joey, every time you throw your punches.
Don't stay in the middle. Don't stay in the middle.
Got it.
Легче, расслабленнее, на ножках.
Just go relax.
That round was all Joe Smith Jr. He was seeing red the entire 3 minutes, landed a chopping right hand. And when you have your opponent hurt, it doesn't take many shots or a clean shot to remind them of that, of being hurt. So that right there caught Bivol's attention again.
You get your money's worth tonight. Final round!
12th and final round. World title fight at light heavyweight. Joe Smith making it work, using every second of every round, and at the last second of the 10th round, he gets back in this fight. He has lost most every round as Bivol has been terrific, but he was definitely hurt, and he is definitely not quite the same in these last rounds. By the way, good translation in the corner from Bivol. What the bleep is going on? What the bleep just happened? I mean, that's what was said.
I guess the F word doesn't translate well in Russian.
Joe Smith Jr. is shot at the title. He's got 2 minutes. Bivol lands back, shows his class and his fire. Look, Bivol isn't out here dancing. He's out here trading. He's just smart about it. But Joe Smith has that world-class power, the equalizer. And he's been able to rock Bivol twice in this fight. Wild right hand, way off.
Stop. Back in his head. Come on. Let's go.
Gary Rosado has done a good job in this fight.
Don't push with that arm.
Smith trying to jab his way in. At least just throwing a blinder out there so he can land the hammer.
Put that arm back. No measure, no measure.
This is too quiet of a round. If I was Joe Smith Jr., I would let it all hang out. This is a championship fight. You had your man hurt. Go after him. Bombs away.
Well, he's been doing that, but right, that final minute here, 1 minute to go, has been quieter. Remember, Bivol answered with a lot of hard shots to drive Smith back. Can he keep him at bay?
Hey, don't push it on him.
Bivol is standing right in front of him and lands a hard right hand.
Great counter shot there by Bivol. That caught Joe Smith's attention. But in the 12th round, the power probably is not there like it should have been in the early rounds. It still caught Smith's attention.
I don't know who #1 is in the 175-pound division, but there's nobody more skilled than Dmitry Bivol.
Bivol has looked terrific. He's made certainly a statement in this fight.
Bivol landed 2 counter right hands that hurt Joe Smith, but Smith is so tough that he hit it well, but his legs aren't really under him with that second right counter that Bivol landed.
Final seconds now. We're in the final 10. Smith is running out of time.
10 seconds.
He really burned a lot of gas in the 11th, and now Bivol has him hurt. Hard right hand. Smith has never been down. Bivol on the attack, but it's over. Wow, what a way to finish. That's a statement.
Those 2 right hand counters earlier was what caught his attention. That third one finally did the job. The onslaught came just a little bit too late. 5 seconds more, it would have been over.
Bivol is a little cloudy, by the way. See the way he's blinking his eyes?
He was a changed fighter after that shot at the end of the 10th round. It looked like after the first minute, he was able to get his bearings, but he was not the same fighter. That shot had an impact.
No question. And yet he's still able to do that. Say, hey, final 10 seconds. You think you're going to beat on me? Nope. Here's how it's going to end. That was impressive. Very impressive. I mean, just, Sergio, the class of this guy. Such a high level of skill and talent.
That was
and the guts of that guy.
That was impressive. Impressive resilience on Bivol's part and impressive power on Smith's part. It's just unbelievable to always give power a chance, even in the final round.
Well, again, you've got to be able to deliver that power. And Smith, to his credit, never gave up. A hard man to find, and at the slightest bit of room, Bivol will hurt you. If you let up on him for a moment, he's not just there to outbox you, he will hurt you. But Smith is dangerous every round.
Every round. With a power puncher, you always got to be on your feet. And when Bivol finally got hurt, it was towards the end of a round. After he heard the 10-second warning, he kind of let his guard down, and it cost.
Bivol had a lot of success, Sergio, with the hook as well. Hard shots, hurt Smith several times.
I think Bivol fought a great fight against a power puncher, a dangerous puncher in Smith. He took his chances when he had his moment hurt. He had his opponent hurt, he took the moment, he tried to get the stoppage. 5-10 more seconds, he probably could have got it.
Yep, and Smith has never been down, certainly never been out. Even with a broken jaw twice that he had to get fixed. Look at him, there's a warrior right there. So much guts. Woo! Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards, and before we do, a round of applause for 2 fighters that both had the will to win in this ring here tonight. Don Trello scores at 118 to 110. Glenn Feldman and Tom Schreck both score it 119 to 109. To the winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated and still the WBA Light-Heavyweight Champion of the World, Dmitry Bivol.
Those are good judges. They did a good job. Smith won probably 2 rounds, maybe 1 round. It's possible. But again, Dmitry Bivol with a statement here to fight against a very game tough guy with real world-class power. And he makes his statement to say, hey, you know what? You shouldn't be so sure that it is Beterbiev or Kovalev or Vostek that's at the top of the food chain.
Look, I hope that critics won't be critics and say, well, look, he couldn't take out another fighter here in a strong and cagey fighter in Joe Smith. But look, he's fighting quality opposition. He fought someone with just 2 losses, a man that's beat a legend and a former champion in Smith. So Bivol went the distance, but he went the distance versus a tough fighter.
And remember, Gennady Mashianov, chief second for Dmitry Bivol, said in the middle of this fight, I don't know how this guy is still standing.
You gave us the PG-13. I don't know the F how he's standing.
See the CompuBox numbers, wow, a wide discrepancy in punches landed. Yeah, you could boil it down to, I don't know, maybe 5 different Joe Smith punches that really rocked Bivol. So again, the punches landed. What, only 21 for Joe Smith?
Oof. When you have that kind of power, you don't need to throw 107.
Right. You throw, 1 might do it.
One might do the job.
Almost did it several times. Bivol is the winner. Chris Mannix is there with him.
Dmitry, congratulations. The scores were wide, but that didn't look like an easy fight out there. What did you think of your performance?
First of all, I want to say thank you everyone who support me, who watched this fight. Thank you so much, Joe Smith and his team. Appreciate for this fight. And of course, it's not easy fight because I had to train hard, and Smith has big heart and strong hands.
You knew he had power coming in. At the end of the 10th round, he caught you with a big shot. Were you hurt, and how did that affect you the rest of the fight?
Yeah, I felt his right hand on the top of my hand side. I little bit lose my balance. But I saw this fight, but не успел среагировать на него.
Didn't have time to react. I didn't react.
Да, it was a good hard punch.
You have been criticized in the last 2 fights for not going for knockouts, but you had to know in the 12th that you were up pretty big, but you still were out there looking for a knockout. Why was that?
У тебя было большое преимущество, но ты известен, не делаешь нокауты в определенных моментах. Почему?
Maybe I hasn't enough experience. This is big fights, top 10 my divisions, and maybe I don't know. But in the end of the fight, I felt that I can knock him out. But it's not my goal. I wanna show the good fight. With drama fight, with good defense, and I hope that intelligent boxing, because not only power can make good fight. You have to think a lot in the ring. This is smart sport. You have to think a lot.
You knew coming over to sign with DAZN that making title unification fights were going to be difficult. What's a big fight that you think you can get next?
I just end this fight and want to relax, but I'm ready to fight for another belt. Doesn't matter for me who it will be. I'm ready for unified fight, for fight against another champion from 168 division. I want a big fight to be remembered in this sport and to give good fights, intelligent boxing for watching to fans.
Do you believe you can comfortably make 168 pounds?
Yeah, of course. I had a breakfast before my weight, before this fight. You can see I'm not big. Joe bigger than me, and another guy is bigger than me. And it show everyone that not straight, it's main thing in the boxing. Intelligent, this is main thing.
Congratulations, Dmitry.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who watched this fight and support me. Thank you.